Welcome to the Wild Simplicity Podcast, the podcast for awakening women who are ready to shed the layers, let go of the clutter, and rediscover their wild and wonderful selves that lie beneath. I'm Anna Day, and together we'll explore how to simplify, release what's no longer serving us, and embrace the possibility of living fully in this one wild and precious life. Whether you're a dreamer, a seeker, or someone who craves doing things differently, this space is for you. Let's dive in and awaken the magic within. Hi, and welcome back to the Wild Simplicity Podcast. This is Anna, and I have been sitting here waiting to press record. I'm going to grab my tea and wondering actually what I'm going to speak about today. And then I was like, hold on, trust. And I'm doing the artist's way. As if you've been following along on Instagram, you'll have heard me saying that. This is week 2 of 12. If anyone hasn't done the artist's way before, it's a book actually by, where is it? I have it here, by Julia Cameron. Those of you who are watching the video can see the book here, by Julia Cameron, written in 1980, I think, or something, or 90. And it has gone on to have many, many editions of it. Oh, this edition is 2020, first published in 1994. So, and it is, I remember seeing it in our house when I was a child. My mum had the book and I flicked through it here and there and read bits of it and took small bits from it, but never really started to do it. And then I started doing morning pages, like journaling, but not the morning pages the way she prescribes it, as 3 full pages that you do in the morning of just flow of consciousness. And I did it in the full program, The Artist's Way, the full 12 weeks in a creative cluster, which is the groups that Julia Cameron suggests you gather together in these creative clusters of people who are willing to do the 12 weeks together. And I did one in 2023, I think, or 2022 actually, maybe. And it was amazing. I started writing poetry as a result of that. And then I did one in 2024, and that was not didn't have live calls, so I wasn't as engaged. And this time we're doing it again in a creative cluster, and I'm doing it with live calls. And it's amazing. And it's really bringing out it each time. It's like anything we do, right? It spirals down and we get deeper and deeper into these things. And for me, I've been doing morning pages for the last 2.5 years. So what would that be? It's 2026, 25, 26. Okay, so I must have done the first one in 2023, because is that 2.5 years ago? Anyway, but I've been doing them morning pages pretty much consistently for that amount of time, and it's life-changing. I want to say that phrase is so overused, but it really is life-changing. And waking up in the morning and having that protected time for myself. And I start off every morning with my pages, and it's doing something. It changes every time. It changes something inside of me, and going through the 12 weeks. And the morning pages do as well. But this time, there's something landing deeper again. I'm going to read the basic principles that are at the start of the book that Julia Cameron lays out about creativity. And I was reading them this morning just for myself, so I'm going to read them to you in case you haven't heard them before. All about creativity and how it's our natural way of being. Number 1, creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. Number 2, there is an underlying, indwelling creative force infusing all of life, including ourselves. I'm just checking that everything's recording. I didn't even check properly. Yes. Number 3, when we open ourselves to our creativity, we open ourselves to the Creator's creativity within us and our lives. Number 4, we are ourselves creations, and we, in turn, are meant to continue creativity by being creative ourselves. Number 5, creativity is God's gift to us. Using our creativity is our gift back to God. Number 6, the refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. Number 7, when we open ourselves up to exploring our creativity, we open ourselves to God. Good, orderly direction. Number 8, as we open our creative channel to the Creator, many gentle but powerful changes are to be expected. Number 9, it is safe to open ourselves up to greater and greater creativity. And number 10, our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move towards our dreams, we move towards our divinity. I just think they're so beautiful because they really focus me back into what I'm doing with with this 12 weeks of play and fun and discovery and joy, and in my work as well. So not separating those two things out, allowing my work to be my source of vitality, abundance, and joy. And I was talking to a few people this week about social media, and my relationship with social media has changed a lot. And I've been creating on social media for the last 8 years, and not consistently though. It's only in the last few months that I have been producing reels and putting my voice out there on social media more, and rephrasing and what's the word? Changing the way I look at social media, reframing it as something that is a tool for me to use and that is really, really beneficial to me in my creativity and in my own self-healing. And I mean, people always say, setting up your own business and becoming an entrepreneur is one of the most spiritual or self-healing things you can do, because it brings up everything. It brings up all your fears, all your insecurities, all your everything. And it turns you inside out. And if you continue on the path of entrepreneurship, you can't help but you have to look at these things. You can't ignore them. So that's the first thing. But then social media on top of that, for me, I have looked at it as something that is extractive and that is manipulative and that is targeting my weak points, because seeing ads come up that are, I go through cycles of different ads that come up depending on what my insecurities are. They target it, right? So, but I think we're all becoming much more awakened to all that now, and the fact that we are being manipulated and watched and controlled in that way and targeted in that way. And so I have curated my social media feed to be so inspirational, so full of people who are expansive and inspiring and who are going to lead me back to myself and encourage me to lead my life as me. And that's what I said to a friend actually last week. I said, all I want to be is be me, to be my real self, because it is exhausting being anything but ourselves. And so for me, social media really is allowing me at the moment to move away from that place where I saw it as evil and as something that, as an entrepreneur, I had to be on to some degree, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I could use other ways of expressing my voice in the world, like this podcast. But there's something about social media, and I was thinking the other day, it's in our world for a reason. It's in our world. You can choose whether or not to engage with it. I choose at the moment to see it as a tool, and for my betterment, to allow me to express more and to delve deeper within myself and to be seen and to allow myself to show up more as myself each time. And for the people pleaser in me, the good girl, the perfectionist, they are all being healed bit by bit as I go along and as I express more. And there's nothing better than that for me. Obviously out in the real world, day to day, in my family, creating boundaries, putting these all into practice relationally, and also being seen in the world. If I can be on social media and being seen and speak as myself and not hide anything, not hide who I am, not try to portray myself in a certain way, that for me is true liberation. Being able to be, I think I was saying this last week, that to be able to show up in all the spaces we go into and with all our family, friends, as the same version of us, not feeling like we have to put on a mask in some situations. And obviously there are situations, there are moments where we adapt somewhat, but not in the contorted way that we've been taught to and that we are so practiced at doing. And that takes a lot of unlearning. And it's been something that has been really present for me this week. And it's solidifying my mission in this life, why I'm here. I'm here to unearth my true self and to help others to unearth their true selves. And that seems to be the nub of what I'm here to do. And I do that. My flavor of it is through decluttering and through simplifying in all areas. So for for me, inextricable link between decluttering our physical environment, letting go of the stuff that we don't need, don't want, that is excess, that is superfluous, letting go of stuff in our wardrobe that makes us feel like shit, that makes us, that has holes in it, and that we are leaving there because maybe we'll sew it one day. And we totally underestimate the energy drains all of these things that we hold on to and tolerate take on us. It really sucks the life out of us, these seemingly insignificant things. So for me, the physical decluttering is so, so important. And it can be a catalyst for internal decluttering, for decluttering of our emotions, our mental, everything in our mind, our thoughts, our subconscious beliefs. And they're all linked, and they can all be woven into each other as we go through life. And for me, simplifying is a way of being. There's the Robin again. The Robin keeps coming to me these last 2 weeks since I started the Artist's Way. And the Robin is, I see it as my granny. She's always shown up for me. And she's been here every day these last couple of weeks. And we've been living here 3.5 years. And usually she pops in every so often, very infrequently over the last few years. These last 2 weeks, it's been every day. And that's like things like that, like really being connected to energy and to the unseen world and to the mysteries we do not understand, we cannot understand. And so my mission is to live this out myself, out loud, and to learn as I go, and to stop trying to get to be the finished product and then present myself to the world. It's like what has been called, I think, for a lot of us now is to live out loud and to be as real as we can be and as authentic as we can be as we go along, as we are creating, it's not one thing siloed. We do this and then this happens. It's like a constant weaving of it all. So anyway, I was saying simplicity and decluttering, they are the thread that goes through all of my work. And that the more I declutter and let go and sort through and organize, the more I can be my true self. And that is what I feel this is at the moment when I'm on the podcast, and this is my 58th episode, I think. And that's phenomenal to me. It's like, wow. And when I think back to who I was in episode 1, I haven't listened back, and I probably will at some point when I get to maybe episode 60, I'll listen back to the first couple. Because I've evolved through this process of sharing and of being and freeing up my voice and freeing up and being able to be here and chat and trust in not having a plan and just speaking as it comes. And also on Instagram, because that's my main area of where I show up, and it being a process of decluttering, because I feel as I am speaking all these words, it's like I'm sorting through all the words that are inside me and allowing myself to feel them, to have the visceral experience of them, and feel which ones get to stay and which ones need to go, or which ones I need to set aside for later. And it's a really interesting process. So that method of decluttering and letting go and shedding and releasing is so integral to what I'm doing and what I'm all about. And also then the trusting of what is coming through. And so this week I felt of all the emotions, our emotional decluttering. I talk about swamping a lot, swamping being the process where that's a term that came from Regina Thomasher. I'm pretty sure it came from her. At least that's where I found it. And a lot of people talk about it though. Swamping, where you go into basically the swamp of your emotions. You feel, she does it through music. So I use that method where I put on songs, because songs are so good at evoking emotions. And it is a container where we can allow our emotions to be decluttered and to move through us and to alchemize them and to use them as our source of vitality. That was the key thing for me this week, was the rage I was feeling. I woke up one of the mornings, I don't know what morning it was, I put a reel on straight away when I was feeling it so in the moment. And I was going to then do some exercise, and I knew I was going to do a mini swamp there and then, like have a tantrum. That was really came strong to me. Have the tantrums that I haven't had over the years, that I suppressed or I didn't even get to look at, and allow those to come out. And now I have tantrums like a little child, and I stomp and I rage and I roar and make animal sounds, and it's so liberating. so freeing for the soul. It really is. We underestimate what the potency of this practice. So I usually put on an anger song first. And if I'm doing a full session, I usually do half an hour or 40 minutes of swamping, which would be a rage song, then a grief song, and then a more sensual song that brings me back to myself and to my body, and more, grounding and centering back in. So, but the other morning I just did a rage song, and it was brilliant. I had the tantrum, I stomped, I did some weights actually at the beginning of the song, so I could feel that with the strength, there was real, the resistance there of those weights was super powerful. And the ability to allow myself have that tantrum, and to not to get rid of the emotions. So we're not getting rid of, and I often speak of that term in decluttering, getting rid of something as opposed to releasing and letting go. But for these emotions, the allowing them to come back inside of us, that they stay in us, that we are so uncomfortable with feelings like frustration, anger, grief, that we often want to get them out of our bodies and stop us feeling them, just suppress them either. And the key is to reframing again with the emotions, that they are our vitality. They are the key. So go towards them when you feel the frustration, when you feel the anger, when you feel the grief. Create some space when you can. It doesn't have to be long, but to go into them. I know that feels really scary, but the more we do it and really feel the fuel of the energy moving through our bodies of these emotions, and allow it to be our vitality, our fuel, our nurturance, it's life-giving, and it's incredible. And it is such the other morning I was feeling rage, and I was feeling rage at things and at people, and I could feel myself projecting that anger out and giving this power of my beautiful, rageful energy out to the other people. And I said, hold on, this energy gets to be, it's mine. It's my energy. So I take it all back in. I take this energy, I move through it. I feel what I'm feeling towards the people, and I feel what I'm feeling towards the situations, and I don't wrong those. They are as they are. But I do not expend all my energy for the rest of the day, the week, however long, expelling it out. It comes back to me, and I get to use that source of fuel to move me through my creativity, my passion, my whatever I want to bring into my day, and bring in magic and miracles. And that's an intention I've been setting a lot recently. Magic and miracles, allow the magical miracles to be in my everyday. And I feel that all of these things are really linked. The letting go of these emotions in a way that is safe, in an environment where I'm not spewing it onto everybody else. I was saying that if I had left it, if I had not had a chance to do exercise or to do the swamp, I may have likely spewed it onto my family and my children, especially getting ready in the morning. You're in these tight containers of time where we are under more pressure than we usually would be at other times in the day. And that's when our stuff comes out, and it comes out with the people closest to us. And so the power in creating a small amount of space to feel that, and also the power of allowing those energies not to be something that I'm trying to get rid of, but that I am taking back in as fuel for my day. So that's such an important aspect. And then I went on through the day to have a completely different experience of the day, and to become a lot of creativity was coming out of me. And so that was really, really fascinating. And I also had the idea this week to have a session, which is happening on next week, Monday the 16th of March, if you're watching this in real time or listening in real time, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Zoom. It's called a Lucky Dip. And I was thinking the other day of Lucky Dip bags, and the way you used to have a selection of bags where you'd have little toys or sweets or something in them, and you'd pick one and you'd pay a certain amount, or you get them at parties perhaps as well. And you open the bag, you just don't know what's going to be inside, and you just go for it. And it's exciting. It's going to be fun, whatever it is. And the anticipation of not knowing what's coming. So I had this idea for me running a session where it's not around any specific topic. Obviously, the topics I love to talk about will come through, but I really felt this urge to share inspiration, energy, expansion with people, and to help us all to tap it, myself included, to help us all tap into our divinity and our endless expansion and liberation and joy and love and possibility. For me, possibility is delicious. I I believe endlessly in possibility. If someone comes up to me and starts talking about their limitations and why they can't do something, I immediately feel it in my body. No, you are so limitless. And it's just that there's so much crap in the way and programming that's stopping you from seeing your limitlessness and seeing how much possibility there is for you. And I hear people argue for their limitations, and I will argue the opposite. I will argue for your possibility, and I won't argue for your possibility because that's up to you to see it. But what I will do is model my possibility and model my limitlessness and model my growing everyday belief in my limitless nature, the possibility that exists. And there's a lot of what I haven't spoken about in the past about how I have created the life I live, and how I have always been told, oh, you're so lucky, and this happens to you, and that happens to you. And I have created this life very specifically and very, over the years, I have used a lot of visualization. I've used a lot of manifestation techniques. I've used a lot of self-belief techniques, decluttering, delayering all the crap and all the subconscious beliefs that are there, stopping me from accessing the potential within me. And it is incredible what shows up when we first believe it's possible. But we have to surround ourselves with people and energies that also believe things are possible. If we are surrounded by people who are believing that it's, get real, come back into the real world, look at what's happening in the world, you can't possibly be feeling all that joy and expansion. And, we need to, there's a lot of which is real because it's there, right? That's what they're experiencing. But my experience is to move from this place that I've always known. And I don't know if it's been there since I was a young child or if it's since I've been in the world of reading books and spiritual books, personal development books, mindset books, trauma healing books, somatic books of this, our bodies and our energy fields. And I've done Reiki and Rahani training as well. And I love the energetic side of everything. And the absolute mystery, we don't know. Like the thing is, we don't know so much, and we hold on to this physical world and what we can see, and trust that so much as the only source of our evidence. And what I have experienced such magic and miracles, but when I take action. So when I take I create the vision of what I want and what I know I can have in this life, and I take action. And that is what has gotten me to Portugal and has gotten our family to be here and to be experiencing this life we're experiencing, which is really suited to us. And it's really expanded us all in huge ways. It's amazing and continues to do so. And viewing my life as magic and as a playground for let's see what's possible. Let's play with this. What do I have to lose? And I often go to my, 80, 90, 100-year-old self and think, what would she be saying to me now? And what will she want to say when she's looking back on her life and being like, well, what did you do that whole life? Did you really love yourself? Did you waste time on berating yourself, on hating your body, on hating parts of yourself, on listening to the programmed talk in your head that was total lies? Or did you decide to step out of that and really decide to believe that you are a valuable human, a worthy human, an exquisite human, just like everybody else around you? And when more of us believe how exquisite we are, this world gets to be magic. And you magnetize people towards you who have that similar vibration and similar energy. And it is incredible. It is magic. It's miraculous and it's magic. And I'll speak about this more in time. But I've been doing this since I was in my teens, and it has brought about incredible things for me. So I don't know how I've gone on this tangent now. Anyway, yeah, I was talking about expansion and possibility, and that's why it's such a through line in my work as well, along with the simplicity and wanting to create these spaces where we can gather and be in that energy, and that I can cheer you on and remind you that the things you're feeling inside, that urge, that draw towards something you're feeling inside you is real, and to not bury it down anymore, to have the courage to understand that to be uncomfortable and to be scared and to be in fear, it's okay. I mean, there's the making sure you're not totally annihilating your system, but recalibrating to understand that discomfort is safe. It's just that your body is, in your nervous system, is doing something that it hasn't done before. It's carving, it's, going along a new track. And that for me is really important. And it's really important at these times when we need all the good hearts, the caring hearts, the generous hearts that we can find, because our generous hearts are needed for this world and for each other and for helping each other as humans and helping our whole worldly family. And what we, that the in our internal worlds are such a reflection of the external world. And so noticing what conflicts are inside of us, noticing where we are in opposition to a part of ourselves, and how can we bring those parts of ourselves in and welcome them and love them. And yeah, it's there's so much there. So on Monday, I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be a lucky dip, because I am going to show up, and much like I do in these podcasts, except I'll have all of you with me and be able to interact, and we can, you can add things in the chat and we can go back and forth, make it more of an interactive experience. But it's me flowing with whatever is wanting to come through and whatever is wanting to be shared, and to speak about our boundlessness and our limitlessness and our utter possibility that exists, and to remind you of how profound you are and how much there is to you and how much you get to decide the way you want the rest of your life to go. And I'm here to cheer you on and to invite you into that space of, I mean, what have you got to lose? To have fun and joy and to experience the absolute sensory nature of this world, and to be out with, like, the best thing to do is to get out into nature and be with the trees, the flowers, the plants, the animals, and embody some of their qualities and what they do. And as I look out to all the trees here, we have a lovely sunny day here today, so it's nice. And I'm going to go outside afterwards and breathe and go barefoot for a few minutes, and the robin's still there. So yeah, beautiful. So I'll leave it there today, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this Wild Simplicity community. And I'd love to hear anything you have to say. I'm always open to your feedback and would love to hear your responses and anything that this has piqued in you or stirred in you. And if you would like to join on Monday, you're more than welcome. The link is in my Instagram bio. And where else is it? I'm going to send out a newsletter about it as well. So if you want to get on my newsletter, you can do that through my website or through my Instagram bio. And yeah, I will see you next time. Have a lovely week until I see you next week. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this journey to wild simplicity. If today's episode inspired you to let go, simplify, and reconnect with your truest self, I would love for you to share it and help spread the word. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, and follow along on Instagram at Wild Simplicity for more inspiration. Remember, life is precious and you have the power to live it fully, freely, and fiercely. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep seeking, and keep embracing the wild possibilities of life.